Hey everybody, let's have a conversation. My name is Class, this is my co-host.
Miss Pie.
And today we decided we want to talk about something we haven't talked about in a long time, which is the difference between being what we used to be as younger kids to being now current adults in our lifetime. And the difference between the two, you know? Mm-hmm. For example, I remember back in the day when you used to have a lot more energy. You remember that?
I actually still have a lot of energy, but not as much as I used to have.
Yeah, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like there's a
but yeah,
difference.
like this certain urge to just run around. I don't even know. That was when we were kids, though.
Yeah, back in the day, it used to be unstoppable with energy. You always wanted to just move a lot. I mean, you couldn't even put us to sleep half the time. Hell, trying to get us to go on a certain time to knock out was impossible. Now, I mean, you take a walk in the park or something, or you do like a really big activity for that day. You go to a theme park. Man, I'm like, woo, can't wait to just sit down for a moment.
Same. And I wish I had that energy like I used to. I remember when I was in high school, we took a trip, like instead of celebrating me graduating high school, I decided to just be like, screw it. I'm just going to take all my friends to Six Flags. Let's go and have fun, go on the roller coasters and have a blast. What we ended up doing is actually going up the freaking mountain. And then once we were hungry, we were like, okay, let's go eat at that, what was that place? Was it Sizzler down when you go down the hill?
I think it's not Sizzler. I don't know.
I think it's Sizzler. I forgot if it was Sizzler. It has to be Denny's. It was Denny's. Sizzler or Denny's. You have to correct me. But anyway, we walked it all the way from Six Flags, like the Magic Mountain. We walked it down that hill. And I remember it was like 80, 90 degrees outside.
Dang.
And we didn't care. We were in high school. I mean, we had energy.
Yeah.
Now, would never do that again.
Yeah, that's the thing about being young. I mean, you used to be able to like do all kinds of things. Back in the day, I used to be able to drink a little bit. I wasn't a full-on drinker, but at least I was able to hang a tad bit. Nowadays, I can't even have a drink without feeling like, I know a lot of people would consider that being like, yo, man, what's wrong with you? Like, I can still pound drinks at 30 and yada, yada, yada.
It's not the same.
It's not the same, you know? When you used to drink and you would be like, yeah, I can take on the world, you know? But now you're in this like new phase where you're like, oh man, I just want to have a beer just to kind of relax for the
like
day. You know?
One beer is enough, 1 or 2 beers.
Yeah, exactly. You know, some people, I mean, because yeah, it's a little different what it used to be. Back in the day, you know, when we used to drink, you have to drink to prove something to people, you know? You had to prove it to people all the time. Some people were like, you can't hang, dude. And you used to be like, take shots.
Yes, I can.
And then there'd be a drinking buddy, like, let's take shots and everything like that. But now you're like, I got to prove squat.
I'm not here to prove anything to anyone.
Exactly.
I'm here to have a good time.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Being an adult, there are some benefits. You get to do what you want. You get to be your own boss.
And the drink.
You get to you get to be you get to decide what you want to do for the rest of your life. That's kind of the best thing about being an adult. But the best thing about being a kid was the time, to be honest. I always thought that it was so great to have so much time and not to worry about anything at the time. We have taken that for granted. I honestly believe we used to take that for granted when you used to have all this availability. And back in the day, high school drama and squad was petty, but we thought it was the biggest deal of our lifetime.
Yeah, because it was like the only thing going on for us.
Yeah, it was the only thing we took serious. We didn't even know in the background, probably behind the scenes. I don't know if you guys knew, but I didn't know behind the scenes. My mom was dealing with like money issues and stuff like that. You know, it's like,
well, we had no idea, and it was like ignorance was bliss.
Yeah,
I remember not knowing anything, and that was great.
Yeah, that's great because obviously when you're younger, you're developing, you're growing up. Taking on that burden, even when you're not at that age to be taking on that burden, is something you don't really need to hear. And I understand the parents not wanting to tell everything to their kids about that.
Yep.
But now when you get older, you kind of start realizing like, oh my God, my parents went through a lot, you know? I didn't realize at the time. I just was acting like, I need these brand new shoes. I need this brand new game system. I need this. I need that, you know? But I never thought how much sacrifice and how much work it was to get it, you know?
Yeah, nope. Yeah, none of us did. The best part of being younger was just living in the moment. Every single moment.
Yep.
It wasn't like, oh, what am I gonna do 5 years from now, or like thinking about the past. You were just like right here, right now, you know. And that was the best part of it, because I remember just the simple things, like playing hide and go seek. Like, even as a teen, I did that at a park. And I just literally remember reliving how cool it was to just kind of do something for fun. And you didn't have to have, like, a set schedule because later on you were going to go to work or you were going to do something else or your schedule is full. Like, all of it was just, I'm going to have this time that I have between now and going home. And I'm going to use that to have fun.
Yeah.
You know, and that was like soaking in every single second of that moment.
Yeah.
That was the best.
I mean, and let's talk about holidays. I mean, holidays changed since we were younger. When you were younger, you used to be enthused about Halloween, about Christmas. Sometimes people still enthused about Christmas, but Christmas, Easter. Easter is not the same as an adult.
Nope.
You can't run around chasing for eggs and looking for candy. No, that don't exist in this lifetime.
And now as an adult, it's crazy, but I mean, if we dress up and ask for candy, people are gonna think we're creepy.
I know people think it's
can't do that
unless
you look super young.
Unless you have a kid with you, that's it. That's the only way you get away with it. Unless you have physically another child with you to be like.
And if you're not a parent, forget that. You just use your nieces or nephews.
If the parents want to have time off, just give us a second to hold on to their kid's hand, just walk up and get some candy. That'd be nice. But now, it's not what it used to be.
Now we're those drunken aunts and uncles holding up pianos. If you
Hoping
don't have
for
any
Halloween
kids,
parties.
You're in there with us.
Yeah. And Christmas is the same. You remember when you used to, sorry if I'm breaking any bad news for anybody who's an adult who hasn't realized this yet, but Santa doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What? Santa doesn't exist?
And Christmas has not been the same since. I mean, you lose some of the imagination. I realized I was a little younger. I used to have imagination. I was a very imaginative kid. I used to walk around in a superhero costume, dressed up in like onesies and a cut up bandana with some like dishwashing gloves. And I'd walk around the store like that. I had more balls back then. Yeah. Now I'm not gonna walk around in the superhero suit. I would actually get arrested for that.
But you know what? I would totally switch up, like something that I want to bring to my adult life from my childhood life. Now that you're mentioning it, is that sense of not caring what anyone has to say, because that's kind of like, why wouldn't I do something fun for the hell of it? We forget to get in touch with that side of ourselves, and it's very important to do that once in a while, to just do things for no reason, just to have fun.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You need to reconnect with that sometimes, and we forget how good it used to be. Sometimes you just have to just do fun stuff. Like, we can't always be serious.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's why nowadays we do a lot of more of adult activities that are a little more fun. They're not like they used to be. They're still fun, but they're not like kid-like behaviors. Remember when we used to walk on lava? Remember when you used to... The floor is
lava.
Remember when you used to think you were cops and robbers? Remember when you used to probably pretend you were pirates? All that stuff went right out the window when you started seeing movies and realizing other people had that imagination. Was fun. Yeah, it was fun. And now that, I remember getting older and realizing my imagination was getting out and I was phasing out of it. Just like when I was phasing out of Halloween and stuff, I realized how hard it was, because I just thought for a moment, like, I'm not interested in this stuff anymore. And it kind of sucked, because it's like, how did this happen? Why? In a weird way, it's like, why did my innocence become something different than it was before? Like,
because I'll tell you why. Because as an adult, you care too much about everything.
More aware, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now that your awareness is now, expanded, you're like, oh my God, I want to be a better person. I want to be a better employee. I want to be a better husband, a wife, whatever.
Yeah.
And you care too much. That's the problem. Sometimes you just have to trust that you'll be a better person somehow.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like how it was when we were kids. Like you just trusted that the next day you weren't gonna die.
Yeah, I think
that your parents wouldn't be crazy people.
I think we need to take
I
think we need to take some of that with us when we get older. Is that idea that we can't be so afraid of everything because we're more aware of everything.
Yeah, that childlike trust.
A little more of a little bit of essence of innocence would be a little more sufficed, I guess, because we can't always live in this bickering world thinking that there's no such thing as living youth. Because obviously when you would take a piece of candy that you haven't had in a long time, or you had a treat that you haven't had, or your mom or your grandma made this special meal that you used to have when you were a kid, there's always that reminiscent moment. A song that you heard that you're always going to remember when you were younger was the best thing that ever happened to you. Mm-hmm. So it's sometimes those cherishable memories do remain. They say that subconsciously, like, depending on what you eat or what you hear, some things, maybe a movie you watch with a special someone, that remains like a youthful mentality in your mind forever, really. It doesn't always work for everybody, or it doesn't really work for every memory you'll ever have in your entire life, but it's nice to know that there's that one special memory sometimes that you shared, or that special little trinket.
What was your favorite thing to do when you were a kid, like for fun?
When I was a kid, I used to have a lot of fun just coming up with my own imaginations. I had literally saw a treadmill bike or exercise bike, and I thought immediately that it could fly around the world and catch Pokemon. All I had to do was pedal on it. That was all in my head. Me and my brother created a pirate show that we did for my mom, which was on a trampoline, and it was nothing but just like propped like paper swords, and my brother and me just pretending to be pirates. There's so much fun that you used to do when you were.
You guys used to pretend to be pirates?
Yeah, we used to pretend to be pirates. We pretended to be a lot of things. It was fun being younger. We used to be mutants. We had a great childhood. It's fun to have been that back in the day. Nowadays, like, now you're into things like video games and, you know, playing sports and all that stuff. Nowadays, you're not used to the back in the day where you used to be able to chill and do all kinds of fun. Unless you're an actor, I guess. I guess you get to live the adult life of that.
Wow.
Yeah, but what about you?
That's true. When I was a kid, I actually have to thank my dad for this. When we lived in a house back in the day, I remember it was just the four of us, me and my siblings. So what he would make us do is just play hide and go seek. And it was so much fun because my dad would hide my little sister in like the cabinets and make sure she was okay. But she would end up winning because of that. Because my dad always like helped her because she was the baby. But we would just laugh so much because we would end up finding her in random spots. I just remember my brother built a habit too out of like hiding in random places. So it was really fun. I really had a lot of good times like doing that. And I remember that we went through like every single different phase, like scooters and riding our bikes or rollerblades. Oh, I remember rollerblading. That was like the funnest thing to do ever. But I just did not like skinning my knees.
Yeah, I do remember hide and seek too. We used to play it inside the houses in dark. It was so
now we're too big
much
to play
fun.
hide and seek.
Now you worry about the stuff you're gonna break. It's your stuff now. It's not your parents' stuff no more. It's your stuff. Like you're like.
One thing I do miss playing is tag. That was fun.
That was fun.
Oh my god, I would love to play tag. Now as an adult, nobody's down though.
No, nobody's down. Nobody's down for a water balloon fight anymore. Nobody's really down.
I miss that.
Man,
water balloon fights were so much fun.
I remember when I used to run around in a sprinkler and thought that was the best thing that ever happened in my life. That was
remember
fun.
When I was in high school, I think that was the last water balloon fight I've ever had.
Yeah.
But it was so much fun because we planned it in advance. That was before I left that school. And my friends and I met at the park and we're like, we're going to have a water balloon fight. And it was so much fun. We were just chasing each other everywhere at the park, getting wet. It was hot. It was like a sunny, beautiful day. And we were just, you know, like having so much fun, laughing and pointing fingers at whoever slipped and got wet.
Yeah.
So, oh man, I good times, good times.
My last water balloon fight wasn't when I was a kid. My last water balloon fight was actually a couple months ago at my job. We were doing some kind of trust thing or something like that, and we had to grab these water balloons. And when we grabbed these water balloons, we had to throw it at each other, back and forth. There would be a two-partner system, and we would keep going further and further until the last people were standing. That was the whole point of the game. I did not realize that I would be doing that at a job. But honestly, it brought me back to my childhood a little bit. It was kind of nice. It was kind of fun. It was silly, but it was a fun exercise. And I really appreciate the
awesome.
company for even coming up with that kind of exercise. So
that is freaking awesome. I would love to have a water balloon fight now as an adult.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Yeah, we should definitely do
Anyway.
that. But anyways, guys, that's the end of our show. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys did, please
Cheers.
share, like, or subscribe to the channel. As always, we really appreciate you guys. Catch you guys later. Peace.
And love.